A man who has haemophilia and was infected by contaminated blood in the 1970s has told the public inquiry sitting in Northern Ireland that he has lived a life of fear, paranoia and anger. Speaking for the first time about his experience, the man from Londonderry said it's only recently that he's been offered therapy. Our health correspondent Mary-Louise Connolly has been at the inquiry. Mary-Louise.
Lindsay, the first witness we heard from this morning was Paul Kirkpatrick, who's 53 and who lives in Derry. His testimony was personal and delivered in such a heartfelt way that you couldn't help be gripped by what he was saying and what he was about to say next. He told the inquiry how, as a result of suffering from haemophilia, he had received contaminated blood products back in the 1970s, which led him to contracting hepatitis. He said that ever since he had led a life feeling very unclean, confused and paranoid. He said he didn't know whether he had ever affected his wife and his family, and he said he was constantly living in fear. And he said he was also batting away clouds, including potentially living with AIDS, CJD and cancer.
We're continually exposed to major life-threatening events, and it's continual. It's a whole my life. I go by decade by. That's how I remember things. I've got a wee prompt card of dates, and it's decade by decade. So, you know, I had no choice in the matter. My wife, unfortunately, signed up for it when she married me. So it's difficult. We both have to manage. It messes with your head.
So how many witnesses are we expected to hear from this week?
We're due to hear from 14 witnesses. Some, like Paul, have waived their anonymity. Others have asked for their identity to be protected. What is interesting, Lindsay, about this public inquiry is that we're due to hear from perhaps sons and daughters, people who haven't been infected, but those who have been affected, people who have turned into carers to look after their mums and dads over the years. In fact, some people have waited 3 decades to tell their story. Of course, there are allegations of cover-up about who knew what and when over the years. And the final word at the moment to Paul Kirkpatrick, who made this appeal.
We have to stop this from happening again. It can't happen. So we have to me, it's very much we have to learn. We have to get to the bottom of this. Doctors have been put in positions, which I believe, probably unfair positions, where they've had to tell us, we've only got contaminated blood or dirty blood for you. They should never have been put in that positions.
It is highly significant that the inquiry has come to Northern Ireland to hear from witnesses here in their own home turf. And the chair, Sir Brian Langstaff, described this as a very significant week in Northern Ireland. And he said that this is the greatest tragedy in the history of the NHS. Lindsay.